Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome back. I'm so excited to be here with you today because I have a really burning question. Has your soul caught fire? And no, I guess there wasn't a pun in that, but has your soul caught fire? Have you turned or been able to turn pain into passion, hope, or healing? And that's what I'm so excited to have our guest today, who's going to share her story of how she did exactly that. I'm Dr. Danielle Lord, and this is It Shouldn't Hurt to Go to Work, the principal of Archetype Learning Solutions. I'm part author, part researcher, part creator, and my whole goal is to help organizations have healthy cultures for happier employees. And boy, do we need more of that on both instances. Happy employees bring happiness into the home, families bring happiness into the community, and we just lift everyone. Well, this show talks about what I call cumulative workplace distress. We shine a light on workplace trauma, but along with that, we bring solutions. And that's why I'm so happy to introduce our guest today, Glenda Benevides with Soul on Fire. And Glenda, welcome to the show, because I'm so excited to hear your story and learn about how you're helping teams and organizations and individuals through your own journey. So please, what caught your soul on fire? How did you get to this place where you're at today?
I was a longtime musician, singer, songwriter. I've been in the music industry for years, and as I go along, I evolve and I develop, my craft. And I really, I was fortunate because I knew at a really early age that I wanted to do this. And I was also fortunate to have a family that didn't say, when are you going to get a real job? So I just kept doing what I loved and my passion for it. And I just keep evolving. And I think that's been really, really important in my life, that, at each stage of life, you stop, you look, you listen, you go, okay, this is not where I'm at now. Where am I going? And so with Soul on Fire, I was just really looking at, how can I that was the question, how can I make a difference? How can I keep my gifts, my craft, and make it more accessible to other people in the workplace, in whatever environment it is, like retreats or, just in general. And so I set out on a journey to design something that would actually do that I would actually, I could actually sing, tell stories that were poignant, it's kind of a hybrid. So we would have, lots of visual imagery on the screen, along with questions. Everyone gets a journal. So this is this beautiful concert meets a TED Talk meets a workshop. So it's a hybrid. And it's been challenging.
It's been challenging. You said so much in there that I continue to unpack, but what's been challenging, or the most challenging aspect of it?
Well, people aren't doing it. So you could go have a concert, you can go to a concert and you can see some visuals on the screen, or you can go to a TED Talk and sit there and listen, get some fabulous information, or you can go to a workshop and interact and then do more inner work. And so I thought, let's pull it all together, because I love all of it, and it's all valuable, because it's really, really important, especially now, that we ground in we focus in, what is our purpose? Why are we here? What do we want to do? How do we be a contribution? Like, that's really important.
Yeah.
And for not only ourselves, but our family and our community and the world. So that's kind of how I was thinking about it. And it still makes me relevant. Otherwise, you're like, well, yeah, there's 50 million other people doing concerts. What makes me different? Yeah.
Yeah. I love the idea of all three packaged together. And the conference, the TED Talk, the workshop, those are all really transactional things, right? I went, I did, I saw. But what you're talking about with the work that you're doing with Soul on Fire, with bringing all three of those together in a really immersive experience, that sounds to me like it's much more transformational work.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Which is getting people to think much bigger in terms of why are we here?
Yeah.
Are you, when you're working with teams, are they sharing that experience?
Absolutely. It's not, it's not a workshop. So we're not going to be sitting there and like really digging in, but what we are going to do is we're going to pose questions that you'll be able to write down, either take home with you or be able to turn to your partner, your neighbor, and share your ideas, or share like, I never thought about that, or I really wanted to do that, but I was really afraid, things like that. Or there's a place in the actual show itself. There's a segment, if you want to share out loud for others, you can. So we'll do that. But yeah, it is a transformational experience. So that's kind of really how I'm billing it, so to speak. Yeah.
I love that. And I see transformational behind you too. And I love the idea of having the journal as part of it and the questions, and then share. I think all the work that I do, humans are craving connection.
Yes.
And we do not create the space in our work environments right now to have that connection. It's just, let's get through the agenda. Let's get back to the work. We have to hit our productivity numbers. What is some of the feedback that you hear from individuals as they make those connections and they gain trust and they increase the relationships that they have with one another? I'd love to hear some of the comments and some of the feedback that you get as people have that transformative experience.
Yeah, I think what I've been experiencing and hearing myself is the word inspirational comes through, and so much so that I was talking about this earlier. There were two gals that attended my beta workshop, so to speak, my beta experience. And they went off and started their own group, their own women's group. And they meet like once a month and have coffee and talk. I was just like, oh my goodness. And I know it was a direct experience from the experience that they were having with my workshop, because they weren't doing it before. Yeah.
Wow. That is inspirational indeed, and transformational. Yeah. And I think it's a really great example of how we have to find that ignition source within us, right? I think it's too easy to become complacent and apathetic and just say, well, nothing's going to change. But when we have something that moves us and propels us out of that kind of place, that state of, oh gosh, the word I wanted just went right out of my head. Basically just apathy. We have to have something that kind of pushes us right out of that comfort zone. So to ignite something like that must be just really impactful for you and inspirational for you as well, to know that you were a catalyst for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live for that, but what I do live for is that someone gets something that they take away for their life, and they're feeling happy and fulfilled, joyful, having those experiences, and then feeling confident and having courage to just really step forward and ignite something in their life, whatever that is. And it could be anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be in the music industry or anything like that, but that's just my goal, my purpose. So, yeah.
I love that. Was there a specific ignition point for you where you just said, because you talked a little bit about your journey and how you got here, but was there one event where you were like, I have to do something bigger than just me? Or do you think it was kind of a culmination of things that brought you here?
Every day, all the time. I have to do something. What am I doing? Somebody said this, gosh, not too long ago, I was listening to something and they said, not everybody needs to hit the streets with picket signs, and there's other ways to really make your voice heard, to really make your intentions known. And we, especially living in the technology that we do today, which has been really delightful, I think, for me. I love it. But there was never really a point. It's always been there. I think since, I was a kid, I remember listening to, I was over at a friend's house and we were playing records back in the day. And, and the song, you say you want a revolution. Well, and I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of a revolution. Well, guess what? 250 years, let's do it again.
Yeah, wow. Here we are on the cusp, yes, of our 250 years of, our own birthright. So I think what that reminds me of is something that I said previously, right? Yeah, we have revolution and evolution. And revolution is that bright spark that burns and then maybe sometimes can fizzle out as we gain momentum or move past that momentum. But striking the evolution of the slow change, right? And getting more people to come into something that is just as impactful, but maybe not as such of a burst or an ignition point, if you will. But how do we slowly change the mindset? And I think that that's such an important part of the work that you're doing by bringing something inspirational into the workplace to say, we can do better than this. We don't have to we don't live on the manor. The feudal manner of show up and work all day and go home to your little hovel and, find some pittance of scraps. But we can do better, and we can do that through the transformation and inspiration that you're doing with your work. What you said that part of the session that you do, I guess, because we don't want to call it a workshop or a concert. So the session that you do, I'm sorry.
An experience.
Thank you. I love that, because that truly is what it is. Your experience. You mentioned that you tell stories. Do you have a favorite story that you like to tell, or a favorite piece that you like to bring as part of your voice as the concert part of the experience?
Yeah. It's nice because I attach it to my songs. So I get to tell that moment where X happened, right? So, and the theme inside of Soul on Fire is clarity, courage, confidence, community. It's inside of that. So there's a moment where I tell a story around really courage, and it was. What is it? It was really around me going to the south of France, and I was in the music industry inside of the play in Cannes, and it was Meetum. It was a conference, and I was excited. I was going for my first time when I was going to pitch my music, and I was going to be famous, And so your brain goes, I'm going to really have a life in the industry, someone's going to pick me up, And I got there, and I literally stood at the top of the stairs at the Palais, and it was huge and it was massive. And there were people from all over the world. I've never seen so many musicians in my life, or people from the industry. And I stood there, and in that moment, I realized that my career had been over 20 years ago. And I cried. I was so sad and so depressed. I literally walked back to my hotel room. And thank God I brought a friend with me, because fabulous sax player, to be my confidant kind of person, hanging out with me. And thank God he pulled me out, because I was like, I just wanted to shrivel up and shrink. And I just felt so defeated. And what I really realized was it was my mindset, and the reality was not that. And then I had to reinvent myself, and I had to find a new way for myself, and that I had to just get back in there and be brave and feel stupid and not know what I'm doing, all of that. And then of course I went back every year. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That does take a lot of courage. Was that the turning point for you when you started Soul on Fire, or?
No. Soul on Fire happened about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So not that long ago.
No, not that long. I've been developing it. So I'll workshop it, so to speak, beta test it, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll come back and go, I got to fix that. I got to do that, that kind of thing. So we're ready to launch. I got one more show for Soul on Fire here in the Bay Area, and that'll be probably September. So the first week of September, I'll kick it off, and I've got my PR guys right now reaching out to corporations, retreats, different places for me to come in and really help them with their leadership, with their confidence, with love, and really finding your own voice. Your authentic voice, not what you think people want to hear. It's like, what do you feel, believe? What's your passion?
Yeah. Yes. I talk a lot about authenticity in my own work with employee engagement. And what I am hearing right now from so many, and I think this lends in perfectly to the work that you do with Authentic Voices, people bring their experience and they share something around a situation where they could make a difference, and they're told they're being disruptive.
Hopefully in a good way. Fabulous.
Isn't that what you hired them for?
Right?
Didn't you hire people with this experience and this expertise and this education to come in and say, hey, there might be a different way to do this? And so I wonder, you talk about confidence and courage, and I wonder how many people we have in our organizations today who don't have the courage to say, I might not have all the answers.
Yeah.
And shift and have that mindset shift that you talked about as well.
So it starts.
We might have lost Glenda. Okay, well, it looks like we might be having a little bit of some technical difficulties with Glenda. As she mentioned before we started the show, she did remind me that Mercury is in retrograde. And yes, I am a firm believer that is a real thing. So there we go.
Okay, we're back. Weird. Didn't do anything.
You mentioned Mercury was in retrograde. So there we go.
Yeah. Well, we should also talk. I'd love to really talk about with you and everyone about that part of being that confidence, that part of yourself, really talking about being on the ride. So, because this is a journey, right? We're on a ride. And I wrote a song called I Ride. And I'd love to talk more about that with you and how that all fits in.
I would love to hear more about that, and particularly as it relates to being on an ever-present, ever-continuous journey of self-development. So yeah, maybe we can get our producer, Dr. Jacqueline, to go ahead and start that song.
Great, and I'll share more about it.
In the darkness, feel the damp river fall. Gloom of the light will be the first to fall. Blood on your coats, blue at your throat. Brothers at dusk, we stand one for all. We all stand one for all. I feel a sacred pressure, it burns my soul alive. On the nights, cry, pain, and death drive my ride. Passion is my fuel, pride, it burns my fire. Liberties to survive, we don't negotiate with liars. Life's full text, this will come to pass. History's a story of those who win the glory, but tonight we share a drink, a toast, and soon we're free. We give our lives and turn for something more we earn. So I wrap up in silence. I light the lamp to call, and here's one last kiss on my lover's lips. There's one more fateful ball. And I ride for all our lives. And I ride for all our lives. And I ride. And I ride. And I ride for all our lives.
Wow, okay, I totally got a revolutionary vibe there.
You are correct.
Okay.
Yes.
The music, the lantern, the title, I Ride. It's kind of that ballad feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was inspired. I was going back and forth working with my music partner, Gene Williams, and I kind of got connected to our history there, obviously, in Boston, and Concord and Lexington. And I'd gone there, and I was like, wow, it hadn't really changed since the 1700s. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I was really inspired because I really felt like people really needed to know the foundations of how things start, and not forget them. Not that they have to be glorified or anything like that. I just thought it just really, we should, really understand that. So I started digging into it and realized, believe it or not, there were 3 writers.
Yes, there were.
And I did not know that. So I was like, wow, there's 3 writers. And
we only know of one.
We only know of one. And guess what? He didn't make it. He got arrested. The only person that made it was Dr. Prescott. And he actually, if it wasn't for him, Hancock probably would have been in jail, and things like that. And so it was, anyway, I had to write about it. I just felt like I just saw myself there, voice in the darkness, feel the, sacred pressure of my soul on fire, things like that. I was just like really feeling it. And so it just kind of came to fruition this year. And then ding, 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 ding. It was like, it's 250 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got it out, and it's now you can get it on Bandcamp where you guys were looking, and you can listen to it, you can buy it. And then if you want to go to my website, go to the newsletter, you can kind of stay in touch with me. You can also, I can update you on what's happening, especially with Soul on Fire and things like that. And this is the fun part. You get a certificate that says I'm a writer. So it's really, nice. Yeah, I've had people share it with me. They go, I love this. I'm a writer. I'm a part of a writer. I'm on the ride. Right. And that's part of, yes, exactly. Become a writer.
Become a writer and start that revolution, and that revolution or evolution, no matter how you look at it, of clarity, confidence, courage, and community. Yes. I see and hear so much pain within our communities. And of course, our communities can be little c or big C, right? The community we create within our own small micro environment or at work, but also the big C community. When you're out in the public, I hear so frequently now people saying, I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to go to the grocery store. I don't want to go anywhere. And I think, how we have lost that sense of community and connection with humans. And it brings me to a line that I picked up when your song was playing, was something more we yearn.
Yeah.
And it's that missing piece of community that you speak about. And where else are you seeing, are you seeing like kind of the same things I'm seeing? Are you seeing that yearning for something more in other places? Did you feel it when you were in Boston and there was still that history that is alive? Or where else are you seeing kind of that loss of community or the sustained community?
Yeah. I think a loss of community. And, of course it started with COVID, and then it's a practice, it's a practice that we all have of feeling afraid, and most people their faces are in the news all the time, and that seems real, and it's real for them, and it's not. And we have to break through, we have to, break that down, break through, and just really hang on to who you are, be out in the world as much as you can, and create community. That's the only way we're going to get through this. And the Patriots knew that. They knew that their neighbor, they needed to know their neighbor, and because they're going to be there for you when the house burns down. And we don't think like that anymore, until something really bad happens. And I think if we can head off that at the pass, get on your horse and ride, man, and just really be there for you. It's not only yourself. That's I always say foundational. It's got to be self. And I don't mean from an egotistical, narcissistic place. I mean, truly, am I being healthy? And what does that mean for me? And do the research, figure it out, get some help, start there with foundation, and then move out into the community, your family, that kind of thing. And I think we just have to break through, just like I did at this, on the stairs in the south of France, and meet him looking down that stairway going, no, I just need to retreat, go back to my room, get really depressed, because that's where I'm going, and it felt really defeated. I really did. And, and I thank God I had a friend there to help me pull me back out and really get what my value was now. What's my value? Where do I want to go with this? This has nothing to do with anything outside of me. It was all inside of me. And it was this crumbling of an illusion of what I thought I was. And that happens in every segment of life. You got to let it crumble. I let it burn, in that hotel room. And he just gave me his hand, and I took it after burning. And then I got back up and I went back down there, and I met some beautiful people and contacts. So, yeah.
What a powerful reminder that sometimes we do have to go through that series of emotions. And sometimes that includes maybe hitting bottom a little bit so that we can say, I am bigger than this. Think about in the psychology of change management, we refer to Dr. William Bridges, who says that anytime there is a change, we go through this transition where something we knew ended. Right? And it sounds like you went very much through this yourself with that ending of, the illusion that I had of who I was is no longer relevant today. And you went through what he calls the neutral zone. And so it's that gestalt of lots of different emotions. And once we move through that gestalt, then we get to a place of new beginnings.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of rise from the ashes, if you will, or, the burn, the soul on fire, the rider. And then we can kind of now I can reinvent myself.
Yeah.
And
now I can get back up on the horse and ride in a new direction.
Exactly. To continue. With the analogy.
And you have to, I think to your point, I think you have to burn. You have to let that whole thing fall apart, feel all the emotions. And I did, because if you don't, you're stuffing it. And it's, you're delaying continuous suffering and pain. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
That is so true. Then we get to that place of victim.
Yeah.
Right. And it's something that's happened to me rather than reclaiming the agency to say, I can move through this because I'm better and bigger than this. And now we create something new. And hopefully that something new is something that helps and heals rather than becomes an instrument of hurt for everyone else. So, and it sounds like
and then you get to be the writer, you get to be the leader. People go, wow, how did you do that? How did you get through that?
Yeah,
I know you just lost your job, or oh, I know something happened. And you go like, well, yeah, I got to play victim for about 5 minutes, you know, you know, and then I got off it. I let it burn down, and then I got some help, you know. And that's really how I look at it, you know. Otherwise you just stay there and spin in this thing, you know. So
yeah, it's so true. I always say, okay, this is my end date of my pity party. And up to that point, I can have as much ice cream as I want.
Exactly.
And after that, it's over and it's done.
Yep.
Yeah. So for people who are, you know, kind of feeling like they're stuck in that space, that as William Bridges called it, the neutral zone, right? Or I'm the victim, or this happened to me and I can't move out, whether that's at life or just life in general or at work. Often that's where I see it a lot. What message would you share? I mean, we've talked a lot about this, but if there was one specific message or story or song that you would share through your experience that you have with Soul on Fire, what would that message be to people to reclaim their own sense of agency?
Yeah, great question. I would say just let it be, like own it. Just let it express itself, you know? And like we were just saying, you know, have a little pity party for a minute, you know, and then feel bad and then move through it, you know, set it on fire. Get back up on your horse and ride, you know, that it starts there, but because you just can't shove it off to the side or ignore it or pretend that it's not there, or just go deep down, dark into victim and stay there and then look for a source outside of yourself that caused the problem. It's like, no, wherever you are, there you know, wherever you go, there you are.
Yes. Yeah.
Ask yourself some serious questions. And if you really need help, get some help. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's what I love about the work that the experience that you're having through Soul on Fire is that we tend to think of health from our allopathic lens.
I don't know. I can't hear you, Danielle.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, there we go. We're back to, there are some of our technical challenges. Okay, well, we hopefully move through our technical challenges. I'm just going to add, Glenda mentioned, get the help that you need to pull yourself out of that space of the neutral zone, since that's what we've been referring to over the past few minutes. But health and help are so much different than what we traditionally think of as just the EAP, right? The Employee Assistance Program, or going to the physician and getting some benzodiazepines or some Mother's Little Helper, quoting the Rolling Stones song since we're in a music theme today. But there is so many other ways to get help. And what I love about the work that Glenda's doing is that music and conversation and storytelling are certainly ways that help is available to us all. So that is a fantastic form of therapy if you've not ever had the opportunity to do that, and you're back.
Yeah, I'm back, but I can't hear you.
You still can't hear me. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Well, I'll let you listen, and hopefully we can.
Can't hear you.
Still can't hear. Okay. Well, okay. Well, darn, because I know that Glenda probably would have had a lot to say about music as a therapy, but I think as I listened to Glenda's story, and I loved her revolutionary message in her song, I Ride, what a beautiful ballad that it was. But think of some of the most powerful and impactful individuals who have really helped to shape things through pain and passion. I think back to Emily Gamlin. So when I was with a Catholic healthcare organization, for several years. And so the story of Emily Gamlin was always a very powerful story. She was the foundress of the Sisters of Providence out of Montreal, Canada. And she founded the Sisters of Providence after being married and having I think it was 3 children. And so within the course of a year, she lost her husband and her 3 children all in 1 year. And through that pain arose her passion of caring for others. And so I think it's just a powerful story of Emily Gamlin from Glenda about finding your way out of the ashes and being that phoenix and rising and having the ability to take something that was really painful and awful and moving into a space where you can create something new and help others have a transformational and inspirational experience. And Glenda, we have you back. Hopefully you can hear. Does still nothing. Okay, well, darn. Well, okay, there we go. We're going to move through the pain of our technology issues today. And thank you, Glenda, for being on the show today. I was so inspired by your message, the work that you're doing with Soul on Fire. And believe me, having been in this and done this work for 34 years with organizations, it can be a heavy, big lift to get them to move into a space where they're looking at something new to help their employees have that transformational experience as well. So I'm so sorry our last few minutes was, we were met with some challenges, technical difficulties, but it was a pleasure to have you on the show. I will eagerly be following along on your journey and get one of those Be the Rider certificates. I actually was a rider for many years, so I will happily get back on that horse. You're back. And now we can't hear you. This is a true study in perseverance right here. Yeah. Can you type a message in the chat, maybe a closing message, inspirational message for us, Glenda? We'll encourage everyone to be a rider and get back on the horse. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to follow up with Glenda and see if we can get a personal message out to everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story with us, Glenda. I loved hearing how, like so many others, you created that space of moving through trauma and creating something that was uniquely profound. And we need more folks like you and like me going into organizations and helping them overcome the pain that so many people are experiencing right there at work, because it shouldn't hurt to go to work. So if this conversation resonated with you, please follow us for more episodes that we have coming up in the future. I'm hoping to bring a panel on to talk about workplace violence and women in the workplace and how we all contribute to this not so great space at work when it sometimes is painful. So please follow along and subscribe to the USA Global TV, Radio, and Family, Global TV and Radio Family. And check out my current book, Engaging Your Employees, Simple Solutions to Engage Your Team Through Heart-Centered Strategies that are simple, free, and very, very effective. And actually, part of a 5-part series that I did in June on employee engagement in the long-term care world actually inspired me to write another book. So that is Building Beyond Engagement. And it is looking at workplace trauma as the root of why we have such low engagement currently in our organizations. So we can do better, and hope to see you back next month as we continue our conversations on it shouldn't hurt to go to work and what are some ways we can move through it to reduce the pain for everyone. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and thank you to the great guest that we had today, Glenda. I will be following along and getting my iRide certificate. So until next time, see you then. Thanks so much for watching.
What if many of the problems we associate with aging are not random? What if there are identifiable causes behind declining energy, chronic disease, and memory problems? We have been told that aging is simply something we must accept, that slowing down is normal, that growing older means growing weaker. But what if that's only part of the story? Why do some people remain active and engaged well into their later years? Why do others struggle with disease, fatigue, and declining health? What is happening beneath the surface? What processes drive aging? In Aging Sucks, researcher, educator, and author Red O'Loughlin explores what researchers have discovered about why we grow older. No medical degree required, no confusing jargon, just clear explanations of what researchers have discovered about the processes that influence aging. You cannot stop aging, but understanding its causes may help you make better decisions about your health, your future, and your quality of life. Because understanding comes before action. Action creates hope. Aging sucks. End the guesswork. There is hope. How much of your value have you been giving away? Saying yes when the answer should have been no? Lowering your price to secure the opportunity? Giving more while receiving less? Over time, it adds up. Until one moment brings clarity, you've been giving away your value. This is not about working harder. This is not about doing more. It's about boundaries. It's about pricing. It's about respect. From Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck comes a direct and necessary message. Stop over-delivering. Stop underpricing your expertise. Stop negotiating against yourself. Because when you recognize your value, everything changes. Stop giving away your value. Boundaries, pricing, and the business of respect. Available now wherever fine books are sold and on Amazon. A film by USA Global TV and Radio. Executive producer Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Videographer and cinematic production Paul Garcia. Voiceover by Ed Wargas. Stop giving it away. Start owning it.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.